Hello and welcome to another tutorial here at noisejunkies.net. In this tutorial, we'll take a look at how I created one of my famous YouTube videos, which is a motion typography video on the song The Count of Tuscany by Dream Theater. So, let's take a look at what we'll be creating. So, you heard him, and I'll actually not focus on the typography text for two reasons. One, I actually didn't like it. It's hard to see, and my purpose making was not actually to see, but rather to listen. And you see the lava background really matches the song and its darkness. So, we'll try to make the lava template and not the motion typography. Although I could give some tips on how to achieve this cool text. So, what I'll do is I'll create a new comp, HDTV, 30 frames per second. Okay, so we have a 6-second composition here, which seems fine to me. And then we'll start creating the solids. So I'll just go to Layer, New Solid, and call this Particles. And guess what's coming here? Effect, Trap Code, Particular. And I just released a tutorial called Turbulent Clouds, which also included particular. This beginning section is kind of similar, but you'll see they'll take two different directions. So we're setting this to the emitter here, the emitter type to box, and we'll fill the whole screen with, let's say, 800, and here's 600, 600. And then you want to set the particles per second to 400. And now come to the particle and set it to glow sphere. And then set the opacity to 50 if you would like to. So that's what you have now. And that is not very exciting and very far from what we'll be achieving. But you'll see what I'll mean with these things. What I want to do now is to bring some textures. So I'll just come here and look for a texture. And I'm getting this one from Video Copilot Riot Gear collection, which is really cool. And I'll get the color, and I'll just select, let's say, 3 and 2. And good. So now I'll just drag both textures here. And you can see we have two textures. And what I'll do now is just come to Effect, Color Correct, Tint, Effect, Color Correction, Curves. So I'll just kind of work with the bottom one first. And you want to add a lot of contrast, and that's fine. It's fine. And that's it. And now you can actually set this to screen. And I'll come to the bottom one and set to screen too. But you'll do the same process of adding a bunch of contrast. Maybe not that much in this one. So anyways, we have the two textures here. And what we want to do now is to create a new camera. Not a null object, a camera. And I'll go to the top view and make both texture layers 3D. Come to this one, set it here, and come to the other one and set it in the background, more or less here. So now you'll have them like that. And what you need to do is just to scale it up, the first one, so it fills the entire screen. And the other one, which is in the background, you can do the same thing, or select motion tile, which is, in Spanish is mosaico en movimiento, but in English it's called motion tile. And then we'll just, you say reflect borders. Let me just shut the eye off so you can see what's going on here. And now you can, as you can see, reflect the borders. Let's say 300 or 200. Good. So let's see, the blending modes are all screen, and we'll see what we'll have it here. As you can see, the particles are coming. Everything we need to do now is in the camera, making a cool camera movement. And we'll go to transform in second 1 more or less. Hit the position here, and then come to frame 5, and we're going to more or less here. Okay, but there's a problem. We're actually going through this texture, but it's very hard to see the texture. So we're missing this effect. So what I have to do is just play around with this curves adjustment, just so it's not lost. And now we can see the texture, but you know, it's kind of too bright, so you can set the opacity to 50. And now you can kind of see it, and you'll go through this texture. As you can see around here, you go through this texture. And something interesting too, you can get the other texture, this one in the background, duplicate it and set it to the background. Just so you can kind of see through that too. And then of course you can also set the transparency here to 50. So let's now test the movie. Oops, and there's a small problem here with the last one. There's a small problem here with this texture. The one with motion tile. Okay. Okay, so that's why we have it. And I actually think it can go actually further than that, like that. So now you kind of do the same thing, but going through that one too. Good. That's kind of the result we want to achieve. What I'll do now is start the color process, since we already did the movement. So just pre-comp everything, set OK, and then trim to work area, composition trim to work area. So now I can set to half because we're gonna do some massive stuff right now.